So, bro, you know what I was thinking about? You just said, that's a bitch, man. You can't fight a bitch. I hear you. But I'm not used to people fucking with me.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, and you heard it there. We are back again with another episode. Is The Streets Is Ours. I am
Right.
Fifth Dimension, and I'm joined by my brother New Logic. We got something we want to talk about that's misunderstood by a lot of people. It's really misunderstood by a lot of people. But before we get into that, we want to just chop it up with what's going on in the world today. The media, the white media, is pushing a narrative against black people, and not too many of us are speaking out on it. And I don't know if y'all see it or not, but there are people like me and my brother New Logic that sees this, and we want to make people aware of these type of situations so you can put your caps on and put your head on a swivel so you can pay attention to what's going on around you. New Logic, the white narrative in the media that only portrays black people as criminals and portray white terrorists as civilians. How do you feel about that?
Well, thank you for having me. And that's a age-old topic right there. That's the same story of the white narrative that have people all the way on the opposite side of the planet thinking I'm a thug in China, and they never even met me, you know? So this is the way that works. The person that writes the history gets to say how it goes, gets to create the villain and create the hero. And they are always trying to make themselves out to be the hero. So they're going to need a villain. And you know who their villain is.
Here's the thing, though. We have this platform, and there's other people like-minded like yourself and me that we change that narrative. We speak on the other side of it that's not talked about, right?
Right. Well, see, that's what we're here for. We're here to offer a counterbalance to the nonsense. Like the white lies, the black truth. They're gonna tell white lies, we're gonna tell the black truth.
I love that. That is awesome. So they had this story on the news recently that was I'm pretty sure most people heard about it, in Colorado, where the guy went and shot all these innocent people, right? I'm not talking about the Asian thing. I'm talking about this other guy that went on a whole nother rant and just shot people. What type of mentality you think that is? And it was a white guy, to cause you just to want to kill random people. Because that's not nothing that black people do. We don't go on killing sprees like that.
All right. You keep on hitting great points. And this one is a really good one, because this is the definition of terrorism. Now, they call people in the Middle East terrorists, but they just call them that. You over there attacking them people and they defending their home, you can't call them a terrorist for defending themselves. You're the terrorist. You attack them. But here's the thing. These people have an issue with themselves that make them lash out at other people. All right, hold up. Let me start with this here. Let me go to all crime, black on black crime. When they talk about black people doing stuff or black on black crime, if violent stuff happen in the neighborhood between some guys, it's never going to be random. It's going to be because that guy have a problem with that other guy, and they decided to settle their business this way. It might not be logical to you, but it has logics. But what they do is not logical at all, because they shoot random people that they don't have a problem with, they never met before in their life. That is not the same thing. That is called terrorism.
White terrorism right here in America where we live. White supremacy runs rampant out here in America, and it's not addressed because they stay on code. See, that's the thing we was talking about a few other.
It's a cancer on our society. It's a cancer in every facet of our government. It allows the white judge to call the white murderer an influenza kid, and he's too rich to understand that he just murdered 4 people. it's the white cops that forgive white crimes, so they never even make it to court. They never even have a record. They're just a good old boy, and you need to just throw that away and go home. Don't get yourself in trouble out here. But if it's a black person, you don't even have to have nothing. They'll supply you with it. They'll plant drugs on you.
What would you have to say?
That is a cancer.
What would you have to say to anybody that says that, because there was a recent shooting that I saw with a black guy who was harassed by cops. I think this was in Utah. And I don't know if you saw the story because it's not major news. And like none of our stories making major news. But there was this black guy that got pulled over by the police. It was a normal traffic stop. He played the white people rule book to where he was like, I have rights. You know, what you pull me over for? Give me my ticket. I'll just leave. The police tried to pull him out the car. He wouldn't want to get out the car. And then all of a sudden, the guy put out his gun and shot him and killed him. Like, wow. We see these stories so many times too often. And there's a lot of white people, the white supremacists, that left side that says, hey, if you just comply, none of this will happen. How do you feel about that narrative that be pushed to just let somebody like violate you through all your rights just so they can feel good?
Well, see, there you go. First of all, I'm not asking for nobody permission on this planet for a goddamn thing. Second of all, I don't believe in comply or die. I'm the wrong person to ask about that because I never ran from nobody, not even the police. I used to fight the police. So I'm the wrong person to ask about that.
Church.
I don't play that comply or die shit. I'm a man, and they're going to handle me like one. I'm going to handle them like one. And that's how it's always been. I don't give a fuck about that getting shot up shit. They better shoot.
Church. That's church right there. I just had to ask that. That's church. Okay. I want to go into something else too, though. Here's the thing. There's been this, when we talked about the news media always putting up their white agenda, because there was a black man that killed, there was these two black dudes that raped this white girl during spring break, and they are on trial. They probably about to go to jail forever. But then there was this white man that raped this 8-year-old black girl, and he getting off his charges. So we just talked about the media and how they spin their narratives and how they make things appear for the people to listen, right? So this false narrative of black hate for Asians that they keep pushing, that's something that, the real grassroots of black streets know that we don't really hate Asians. We don't have no hate for nobody, to be exact. We don't have no hate for nobody.
No hate for nobody.
Yeah.
Everybody know who the haters are on this planet. If you sit back and you watch the political landscape and you watch your lawmakers, you see all of these white lawmakers showing you their hate. They hate gays, they hate blacks, they hate this. They make laws to show you how they hate. They're going to continue to show you how they hate. But us, on the other hand, man, we need to stop practicing some hate because we keep getting blamed for it anyway.
So let me ask you something. So with all these laws that they making right now today, does the Constitution still exist? Because all your laws goes against the Constitution.
All right. All of them do. All of them in violation of the Constitution. None of them constitutional. But you missing the whole point. Because, see, these people first of all, look at the Congress, the ones that's making laws. They fucking dinosaurs. Them bitches was around when they was killing Dr. King and Malcolm X. None of them should be in Congress right now. Like, you all racist. We know you racist because you was around when they was killing King and X.
That part right there.
So that conversation over. Step number 2. Congress is supposed to be the house of the people. You're supposed to work for the people because you voted for by the people. But they don't work for nobody but the corporations. Everybody in Congress is rich. If all of y'all rich, how you gonna make rules to help poor people when most of the country poor? 85% of the country poor, and the Congress is rich. That means you are disqualified. You're out of touch. you can't do nothing for nobody because you don't understand them people. You rich. You like, oh, you getting $1,000, you'll be fine. While that person like, bitch, my rent $1,700.
Okay, well, to play the devil's advocate, you already know where I'm gonna go with this. Had you already had yourself in a position to where you don't have to worry about that, then that's something different.
No.
But wait, hear me out. Since I would say since I was a young man, I was taught this from my mother, to take care of your responsibilities, especially me having a son at that age, and make sure that everything is taken care of so that you can be the man that you want to be. You dig? So for certain people, right now, the way the world works right now, with young people and going through things that parents that wasn't shit back then, and they got to grow up, still ain't shit and going through something. I can hear those screams and those cries. Those are the people that I try to help.
Let me drop a wallet on you real fast, because you run your mouth. This pandemic started, and they shut down everything. You probably were still working, but a lot of us wasn't. A lot of us didn't go back.
But my hustle was different.
Hold on. Wait, me personally, I went $11,000 into my savings. That's a lot. That's a lot of fucking money. And a lot of people don't have that shit. A lot of people ain't got nothing. You know how angry I was? I felt like raw eggs was in my stomach.
Okay, I'm gonna get personal again. And that's just the way you was set up and how you did whatever you was doing. And I don't mean to say it like that, but I'm just saying it's personal, bro.
Well, if I were to turn to the streets, I could have maintained. But I don't turn to the streets. I'm on a whole nother ball game.
Okay.
So the name of the game is you have to survive with your head above the water and your nose clean. Because being a business owner, you can't step out of line. So,
step out of line for who? But who are you stepping out of line for? Who are you trying to impress?
Well, I guess you're right. No. It's not about impressing. I remember I said going back to the streets, because to go back to the streets, well, that'd be a violation of what I'm doing, and I could lose everything I got.
Not true, because a lot of grassroots people, the streets back them. Corey Holcomb, for example, he's a comedian, and the streets back him. So just because the streets back you, don't mean you going back to the streets. That means you can always go to the streets, because that's the people that love you and fuck with you. You dig?
Okay.
Because you on a whole nother note. You ain't out there on no rah-rah bullshit. Going to the streets don't mean you got to be out there on no nonsense. Going to the streets just mean, hey, look, guys, this is what I got going on. Look, we need to support this movement, and let's keep this shit pushing. You dig?
Going to the streets can mean just going back to your roots, just stepping back all the way down to the bottom. To like, yes. But actually, you make a perfect point to those things. But the point we were talking about was Congress and them being out of touch, and them not being able to make decisions that's going to benefit the population, because they are already comfortable. And a lot of people are not already comfortable. So a lot of people can't go $11,000 into a savings that they don't have.
Right. I agree with you on that. I totally agree with you on that.
So if you give them $1,000, they're going to be like, fuck you, man.
And so that's why we have this uprising, this crime rate going up, this narrative being pushed about blacks hating Asians, because they're using this as a way to say, oh, look at black people out here hurting, and they hurting Asians. Well, I mean, if anybody, why would we be hurting Asians? We'd be hurting white, black, Hispanic. Everybody get it. Okay. Crime is crime. What the hell are you talking about?
That's what I was about to say. It's a boiling pot anyway, because you've created conditions for the people that everybody can become a victim and anybody can become a fucking assailant. Like, the Chinese people might be the ones getting violent soon. Everybody's hurting.
Right.
you gonna be calling them thugs? You gonna be like, why the fucking?
They are thugs. What about the triads? We know about the Asian gangs and shit too. They are thugs just as well. We have our gangs just as well. You got the Ku Klux Klan. Everybody got their gangs.
Listen to me. I've seen countless videos of Chinese people hitting black women with brooms and shit in their shops and shit like that. Mm-hmm. So, for anybody to have an idea of a narrative to speak out against black people, hating anybody for anything, they need to first check out why and who. Because it's irrational to love your enemies. And if these motherfuckers are your enemies, don't even worry about loving them. If people want to say that, oh, black people hate Chinese people, well, it depends on the Chinese person. Like, if he ain't being shit to me, I don't really hate him.
Yeah, it's an individual thing,
so
but
their narrative don't even stick. They just taking shit and they throwing it at the wall, seeing what's gonna stick. But all they doing is making their house smelly.
Mm-hmm. And that's word right there. My brother New Logic spitting gems right now. You dig? The streets is ours. We have something that we really want to talk about, which is something that's emotional for most people. Like, a lot of people think with emotions and don't think with ration. Well, I ain't gonna say we. He rephrased this word and this phrase. He rephrased this thing, and it registered with me when he did it. And it's called taking my weakness for kindness. So instead of taking my kindness for weakness, like that's what we all repeat and say, he showed me something new, taking my weakness for kindness. And when he broke it down to me, I got it, because that's pretty much who I am. I'm really not kind. I really hate humans. You can look on all my social medias. I say I hate humans. Everybody know this. But I am weak because I like to care about people's well-being.
Living things.
Yeah, I care about your well-being, but don't get it twisted.
Not just people, living things, plants, animals. You care about your dogs. You care about life, and that's the God in you.
Right.
Because you're a God of creation. These demons of destruction, well, they don't care about life. That's why it's so easy for them to be terrorists, for them to kill people they never even met.
All right, so let's talk about the kindness part that being taken advantage of with your weakness. Give me an example of one that you can put out so people can understand what we mean by this.
Well, there are several, but for instance, people might find themselves being kind to someone or neighborly to someone, if you will, and that neighborliness can be taken in the wrong way sometimes. Mm-hmm. And if you don't address it and let them know that it is not to be, you have to let them know how to take it. Otherwise, they're going to take it the way they want to take it. And once it run away with them,
what about,
well, but here
listen, wait, I have one, because I've been living in this house for over a decade, and I've never dealt with none of my neighbors, but I've had some neighbors that I had to go knock on their door and be like, come outside, to the man of the house, come outside, because your kids just did some shit on my property. So, you dig? So but he was like, I gave you fish, because he went fishing and gave me a fish. I'm like, nigga, fuck your fish. What the fuck is you talking about? Come outside. Like, you got me all the way fucked up, you dig? So,
oh my God.
Yeah, it's like people don't understand the concept of leave me the fuck alone.
There you go. There you go right there. Your kindness for weakness. Now check this out. This is how this works. Your weakness for kindness. My bad. Because the weakness is the value of life. I don't want to hurt you, man. I don't want this to be another one of those black on black crime shit that you're talking about.
Right.
I try to keep it cool. I like to keep it kosher 100. In fact, I like to just enjoy my peace and let you enjoy your peace. You know, that live and let live shit, right?
Right.
But people see that shit as I'm a kind person. I'm not a kind person. I'm an asshole. And you can find that out real fast and real easy. You could be being nice to me and find out I'm an asshole. I'm not a kind person. I do have a weakness for people. Like if I see an old lady walking and she's struggling carrying bags, I'm going to help that fucking old lady. Right. Because I ain't going to let that old lady carry that shit.
Right.
So that's my weakness. But don't take that shit for kindness. I'm not no nice guy.
At all. And I feel the same way. When you spoke on that, like you pretty much explained me to myself, and I never knew that I was that nigga. Like, yes, I don't have kindness. Like, I hate all of you motherfuckers, but at the same time, I have a weakness to care about you too. At the same time, if one of my people, go ahead.
Especially to the black community, I'm so fucking heartbroken. Dog, I could cry, and I don't be crying about shit. I could cry every time I think about my black people, because we are the most fucked over people in the world, and it's like the majority of us are fucking clowns in a rodeo show, and they don't mind doing that damn sambo sex. Oh, I cracked the code. We keep talking all this nonsense about how to make it in, but you gotta sambo your way in. To see people keep on samboing their way in, like Candace Owens and what's that little chick name from Clue? What's that little black chick name from Clue?
From Stacey Dash.
Stacey Dash. They do that sambo dance and they sambo their way in there, you heard me? You gotta do a song and dance for these assholes. You gotta monkey your way in there. Meaning you gotta go out there and desecrate your own kind.
Yeah, see, people like that, I don't even respond to people like that, because they got their own lane and shit that they do, and that ain't even that's not even worthy of responding to, because there's a lot of people that take the bait. It's trigger bait, so you can get angry, so you can bring them up, so their name can become more popularized. You know, fuck them people, because I ain't on that type of shit. Like, they can stay over there doing what they doing, mammying, cooning, samboning. It's whatever. And first of all, Candace Owens is an immigrant. She's not even black American. Stacey Dash is an immigrant. She's not even black American. So you ain't got no business speaking on black American topics. Like, your people didn't come from this shit. So fuck you and what you talking about. You dig?
Listen to me. Most of them that's on TV ain't black. Don't play that game. Most of them ain't. Do you think they gonna come find somebody from the hood? They ain't trying to uplift nobody from the hood. Every time they want to make a star, they go find him somewhere else and bring his ass to this country.
They get the immigrant, like your boy from Get Out, from Queen and Slim and shit. That nigga a British motherfucker. His accent is like Idris Elba. He's out there like, yeah. I don't even know. Michael B. Jordan is probably the last of the last.
Yeah, he the only one. I think he been around. I've been seeing him since he was a baby.
Yeah, he the last of the last, bro. I ain't seen nobody else since him. You dig? But see, that's the thing though. Even the Hollywood scene takes the weakness for kindness, because listen, I know what it's like right now with this COVID shit going on, and people just trying to get a job, and they just trying to work, and they trying to make money, they trying to provide for their families, and some people may, and I'm using this in a different term, some people may take their weakness and use it for kindness just to get that work. Like, and I'm not saying they're not selling out. I'm just saying that if you don't stand on what you believe in, then why are you doing it?
I don't know. Sometimes, I mean, there is the state of self-preservation, and you're going to adapt to your environment, and you must preserve yourself at all costs. So if you have to chameleon your way in, then you gotta fucking chameleon your way in. Because you ain't gonna sit up there and hardbone your way to the cold weather, and there's a warm bed on the inside. And you won't be too hard. Don't let hard be greater than intelligence.
I don't know, bro. I don't know. I might have to just go in the snowstorm like Jon Snow and just take the snowstorm, bro, until I get away from it. I don't know.
Nobody telling you to sambo, but if you're not the master of your own situation,
right, that part,
not the master of your own situation.
That part right there. So I'm saying, okay, as far as how are black men misunderstood in the black woman community? Because I see a lot of black male bashing. It's basically coming from all the Gen Zs. Like, ain't nobody our age doing that shit. Like, it's the younger generation. And you know why? Because, in my opinion, I think that a lot of guys that's like 25 and under, they've been influenced by the music industry so hard because they see these guys like flying private jets and making all this money and wearing all this jewelry that you think that's what you need to attract the baddie, but you don't. And then I'm gonna say it another thing: you don't need to attract the baddie. There's a square girl over there right now that look just as good as the baddie. She just ain't flossing hers.
Genius.
You dig? She just ain't flossing hers. So why you going after the bitch that got to put on makeup all damn day long versus that's go ahead.
No, because you on to something over there. You on to something. Madness is.
I'm saying, there's a bunch of square guys out here, right? That can find a square girl, and y'all can both grow together. You ain't gotta worry about the baddies because you being influenced by whatever's going on in your life. Because look, I ain't gonna lie. When Bone Thugs and Harmony came out, I wanted to rap fast. I was a fast rapper. Like, I was influenced. You dig?
Right.
But, dude, see, it wasn't about money and jewelry and cars and things like that. It just was about learning something different. So, rap fast. Rap fast. So, I can understand how the youth right now can be influenced by music. So, the music has changed. And now they want bad bitches. They want cars, they want jewelry, they want all these things, but you're not working to get to that level.
I'm gonna tell you where that started at. That started with Cash Money.
Yeah, Cash Money started that shit.
Boys.
Yeah.
There was the ones talking about bling bling, and after that, in fact, they influenced the rap game so much nationally that people like Snoop Dogg start saying for shizzle my nizzle. Now he like Lil Weezy for Sheezy. So his whole style turned. He changed.
He fit into the times. I mean, Snoop Dogg is my age, and we talking about.
But there you go. But he adapted because of survival, and it did not hurt him at all.
Fuck no, that boy made money, and then he bounced from. You know, he went from Death Row to No Limit.
So what you said, go out in the snow. No. Snoop was like. More on the other side, I'm gonna switch up my style real quick and I'm gonna get over there.
Yeah, he went to the South, from the West Coast to the South, nigga. And he took what he learned in the South and used it and made money off of what he did, like adapt to your environment. That's how I survived my whole life, because my mama bounced us all around. I adapted to my environment. Like, even when I was in California, dudes was like, don't wear blue over here, don't wear red over here. I'm like, nigga, I can wear whatever I want to. It's the way I carry myself. I'm not here to disrespect nobody, but at the same time, I'm just here doing what the fuck I'm doing. They ain't got no business. You, because your pussy ass scared to wear this. Don't put me in your box, nigga.
Yeah, I've been through that before, and I'm like, people like, what's up, bud? I'm like, yeah, nah. I don't know where you from, homie, but
it ain't happening over here.
Yeah. I mean, that's shit.
So, we gonna get ready to wrap this up. If you had to say something, if you had to say something about people taking your weakness for kindness, if you ever had to say one thing to anybody that need to hear it, what would you say about that?
I would say that you gotta think, because you don't know what people go through, and you might fuck with them at the wrong time. You know.
A lot of people are not critical thinkers, though. So.
Well, then there you go. You just gonna have to learn the hard way. There are also people in this world that's like that. Like some people, myself, I have a whole bunch of siblings. I sit back and I observed a lot of the times. I didn't have to learn the hard way because I already said, example, for me. So I went in front and I see shit coming before it happened. Now, if you're not one of those type of people, you gotta run head on into the wall. Have at it, Hoss.
That's funny. That made me laugh. That's funny. Oh shit. Me myself, I would say that and I'm not gonna lie, I'ma always have that trait in me, but I think you mentioned this too. There's a gray area, but if you cross that line, and I know it sounds bad, but you know it's easy for me to just eliminate that whole situation. So I'll just cut the person off, and you know I only want good vibes around me. People that's on the same shit I'm on. That's it.
I can hear that.
You did.
I can hear that.
So don't mistake it. But yeah, my brother, New Logic. No. One love for
195.
And the streets is ours, baby. We'll chop it up with y'all later.
One more thing. If you like what you're hearing, hit up that Cash App at Turkey Lane 101. If you don't like what you're hearing, keep that shit to yourself.
Mind your motherfucking business.
All right.
All right. We out of here. Love you, dog.
Yeah. One.